The penultimate round of the Indy Elite Series, the 2019 season, brings us to one of the most historic tracks on the calendar. That brings us to Los Angeles and Long Beach, California. And it couldn't get any more exciting than this. This is the Triptacular Memories Grand Prix of Long Beach. Coverage provided to you by ESBN, the Esports Broadcasting Network. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett, and joining me in the booth tonight, I'm actually got someone with me this time, is none other than Mr. Tony Trapasso. Tony, we're getting to an exciting point of the season now. It's pretty much getting to crunch time.
Absolutely, and I can't think of a better course to come to than arguably one of the greatest street race courses ever created. This track it's fast and technical, and iRacing has done a great job getting the racing surface just perfect. Yeah,
they've got the race surface perfect. I wish they'd get the scenery perfect and actually finish this thing off, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a post-apocalyptic, war zone. But other than that, I mean, this track is awesome to drive on.
Absolutely. But with that, let's go. Just want to remind everybody that tonight's race is sponsored by Triptacular Memories. Triptacular Memories is an authorized Disney vacation planner focused on planning a trip of a lifetime for you and your family. Triptacular can also book your next race weekend. Book your Triptacular Memories by contacting them through Facebook now. But now, we're about to head on into qualifying. We've got 3 minutes left before the end of this... before the end of qualifying, so...
Practice.
Oh, yeah, practice. Yeah, that one. As I've got problems with my ATVO for some reason, so bear me 1 second.
Well, I mean, while you're trying to get that sorted out, Sam, I mean, I'm looking at the top of the leaderboard, and you've got basically the usual suspects sitting up there. I mean, you got Zac Campbell sitting at the top of the pile, Henry Bennett, Josh Chin, Adam Blocker, just all right there in a tight grouping. But the lap times aren't telling the whole story. Zac Campbell has only had actually a handful of clean laps. With this being a street circuit and with this being, between the walls that you have no room for error, you have no runoff room, and curbing that if you get it wrong, you're going to be trying out for the Joey Chitwood Thrill Spectacular. This race is going to come down to who can keep the car the cleanest the longest.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got so many different dynamics, this track, and different things going on. It's
Ray Kingsbury just killed Andrew Kinsella. Spun out going into the fountain, and Kinsella had absolutely nowhere to go, just pile drove Kingsbury.
Yeah, as I'm still trying to figure out why this is doing what it's doing, but yeah, it's as I have no sound. Great.
Sound.
Yeah. Why don't I have any sound? There we go, I have sound now. So, with that, let's go to the track. Definitely a lot of people out there, but the three people, well, there's one of them right now. He's just had a bit of an accident there. That's Mr. Adam Blocker. Henry Bennett, Zac Campbell, and Adam Blocker, the three people in championship contention going into tonight's race. Definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys shape up tonight. Adam Blocker on the bubble going into tonight. One bad race could end his championship aspirations here tonight.
And with as tight confines as this track is, that is very easy to have happen and have none of it be your fault. Absolutely. I mean, you've got the tunnel turn that's basically a funnel, or not the fountain turn, which just funnels you down from. I mean, you could fit 3-4 cars wide coming down the front chute, And then if you're not single file by the time you get to the fountain, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, as we're going to go to the on-track action now, as I've just realised that I don't even have that up. But anyway, we're just seeing Jonathan Goke there, having one of his better runs here tonight. He's in the top 10, actually, in hot lap sessions as the checkered flag just comes out now. So, going to be interesting to see how that shapes up for him. But qualifying about to get underway now. Gonna be interesting to see who comes out on top here tonight, Tony, because one man who was the overwhelming favourite going into tonight, based on his win last week, was Joshua Chin. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it here tonight, though, as he's been struggling in the hot laps.
Yeah, he wasn't having the best of time in the practice session, but looking at the track conditions right now, I mean, you're talking 66 degree Fahrenheit ambient air temperature, 88 degree track temperature, which is 20 degrees, almost 20 full degrees cooler than what they just practiced on. So this dynamic weather is really wreaking havoc with these guys. If you're going to put a timeout, you're probably going to want to roll it soon before whatever cloud cover is over the track breaks free. Yeah, and we're just seeing living proof of that. Adam Blocker almost getting it wrong on his outlap there and almost hitting the wall pretty hard. Manages to collect it back up again, but you see cold tyres, not really good around here. You need to get them warmed up pretty quickly before and there he goes, he spins it coming out the hairpin. Yeah, your tires are just, with as cold as the air is right now, your tires aren't truly up to temperature till you're about midway down the front chute. Yeah, we're just looking at one of the championship contenders here tonight. The man sitting second in points right now, Mr. Henry Bennett. The gap between Bennett and Campbell, I believe, is only 16 points, so really close between these two going into these final two races. Adam Blocker a bit of a ways back in the standings as Andreas Eek puts the first time up with a 1:35.728. I don't think that's a representative time. That's going to come down surely when he gets the proper lap time in. Yeah, that was just getting the tires up to temperature. As Zac Campbell has already put it pit side again. He's just rolling out now that he got it all wrong coming out of the hairpin as well. Yeah, you see him right there. But we're going to go back to Andreas Eek. Lost his championship aspirations last week at Barber. Just running for pride now, unfortunately, as he's gone over that 100-point mark with only 100. I think there's only 100 points left available. As he gets it all wrong coming out of the hairpin. So this is not going to be a very good lap time on as he completes his first proper qualifying lap of 1:12.955. I don't think that counted either. What Andrew Kinsella's doing, he got it all wrong. Oh, okay, I see what he was doing. Got sideways coming out of the hairpin. Kinsella actually did something that you don't see drivers do too often, and that's back up coming out of the hairpin to get a shot at a flyer. Yeah. He gets it all wrong again, trying to get going, so he's just going to have to give that one up, unfortunately. Yeah. There's 6 minutes left in the qualifying session, and we have yet to see somebody lay down a clean lap. Yeah, Andreas Eek is probably going to be the next man to bring a time in now as he almost gets it all wrong coming out of the hairpin. I think this one might actually get him a lap time though, because I don't think he hit anything. Crosses the line, 1:09.042, and that is your benchmark going into this qualifying session with just under 6 minutes left to go. Andreas Eek currently on provisional pole with nobody else set a lap time yet. Well, Campbell's coming around out of the hairpin to lay down his first time. Let's see what he can do here as he crosses the line. 1:07.191. Wow, that's almost 2 seconds faster than Eek.
You can't tell me that this man is on absolute fire right now, especially with the championship in his grasps before we go into Indy. He's really fighting for this championship right now.
Very much so, and one of the guys he's fighting with is coming down the back chute right now, getting ready to go into the S's leading into the hairpin, and that's Mr. Henry Bennett in the 007.
Yeah, the young Brit really having the season, with his best season ever in this league. As he gets it all wrong coming out of the hairpin. Having his best ever season, but has not had a win, crucially, this season. Able to be up in that top 3 position, basically on good results alone, but he would love to get a race win here tonight, but he's really struggling coming out of that hairpin. It looks like a lot of people are struggling coming out of the hairpin. Bradley Walters, only the 3rd man to set a time here tonight with a 1:09.229, and Joe Branch puts a time in now in the Triptacular Memories number 28. As he gets it all wrong going into turn 1 and has to abandon the lap, unfortunately.
I'm thinking Joe just wanted to lay one down that was going to get him on the board, and that's going to be half the battle right there. You know, this track it's not the easiest to get around, as Adam Blocker out on track right now, just coming through the hairpin as we speak. See what type of time this is going to lead for him. That looked like a pretty clean lap. I was following along with him for most of it.
Wow.
106.8. I mean, that's as Zac Campbell jumps up the second, or Campbell goes quick time with a 106.7.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are flat getting it, but the question is who can link multiple laps together? Because laying down one flyer, as you well know, because you drive this car yourself in a different league, there's a huge difference between laying down a flyer and stringing laps together, and that's really what it's going to come down to, is who can string them together.
One man that is out on track hoping to string some together is last year's winner, Mr. Joshua Chin. Would love to win this race again. Ooh, a few connection problems there for the man in the 93, sorry.
Yeah, but he's gone 3rd quick with a 108.5.
That's still way off the pace, though, compared to Campbell and Blocker. We've got more times coming in. We've got Andrew Kinsella into P4 now. Riley Thompson in P6. Andrew Wood in P7 driving for Team Talent. And Simon Bryant driving for Sadie Simsport. He is rounding out your top 10 and the last driver to take a time here tonight. Henry Bennett. Sorry.
Henry Bennett missing part of his wing. Or not. Thanks, iRacing.
It just straightened itself out for me as well, so.
Yeah, I click on him and I'm like, where's his front wing? Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Bennett struggling to hold a time down right now. Let's see if he can actually get it right this time as he's making his way through the S's. Down towards that hairpin. Can he get the hairpin right this time? He gets it right. How fast will he be coming across the line? He comes down there right now. Across the line.
107.8.
Yeah.
For 3rd.
So your top 3 in points are top 3 in qualifying right now.
And that's the way they were through the hot lap session too.
Yeah, there's Logan Simmons on his return to the series. He is in P10, taking that last spot in the top 10. Eric O'Connor's jumped to the 4th and puts Joshua Chin, as Joshua Chin makes a mistake coming out of the hairpin. I think this might be a poor time for him. No, 1:07.6 for Joshua Chin. That bumps Henry Bennett down to P4. And I did say Joshua Chin was one of the favourites here tonight. He's proving that right now. However, he's still almost a second off the pace from Zac Campbell, and Adam Blocker really needs to put one hell of a race together in order to be up there. The only driver out on track right now is Tim Miller. So with that said, let's go to our results as we go towards towards the end of qualifying here. Zac Campbell on the pole, Adam Blocker in 2nd, Joshua Chin in 3rd, Henry Bennett in 4th, Eric O'Connor in 5th. 6th will be Andrew Kinsella, 7th will be Andreas Eek, 8th Andrew Wood, 3 Andrews in a row, wow. No, Andres is a different name. Anyway, 9th is Riley Thompson, and rounding out your top 10 now is Bradley Walters. 11th is Logan Simmons. 12th, Liam Quinn. 13th, Simon Bryant. 14th is Joe Branch, and Narmet Bride is the last driver to take a time. Really lighting up the line, time and scoring with that time there, Tony.
Hey, better to have one on the board than not have one on the board.
Chad Simpson, Jonathan Goke, Ray Kingsbury, Tim Miller, Danny Ench, Dakota DiCenzo, and whoever else I missed, just Adam Plunkett not taking time here tonight. So the checker flag is out. That means we have got gridding up in process. We don't have the grid sequence as we normally do, so it is what it is. That's why I called out the grid before we finish qualifying. But impressive qualifying for some, but some people just couldn't get it going here tonight, Tony.
Again, this track is it's fun to drive. It's not fun if you don't get it right, you're in for a long night.
Absolutely. And the one man hoping to get this race done as quickly as possible, and hoping other results go his way, is that man there, Mr. Zac Campbell. He's got a 16-point gap over Henry Bennett, and would love to extend that gap and give him one hand on that championship trophy going into next month's finale at Indianapolis.
And I think Josh Chin just summed up what we're getting ready to see tonight. Welcome to the Long Beach slip and slide.
Yeah, it does look very slick out there.
Which is surprising considering that, I mean, it's only a 99-degree track temperature, which for Southern California, that's not bad.
That's pretty cool for Southern California.
66-degree ambient air temperature, so that's really bizarre for Southern California.
Well, they have just had, like, what, 2 straight weeks of rain, so...
Yeah, and thoughts and prayers going out to those in the Midwest right now. Just when they thought it was all over, the Weather Channel just issued a warning. A bomb cyclone getting ready to hit Colorado, the Colorado area.
So for the benefit of those that live in Europe that don't know what a bomb cyclone is, what is a bomb cyclone?
Think of it as a hurricane that just dumps snow.
Ah, snow in April. That's good.
Yeah.
As the drivers make their way out of the hairpin, we're about to get this going here, Tony. The pace car is about to make that hard right turn onto pit road. That Porsche pace car looks very pretty, I will say.
I like the new paint scheme.
As the green flag is out this time by Zac Campbell, not wasting any time. Lap 1 of 43 is underway, and Zac Campbell is going to lead them going into turn 1 here.
Oh, let the games begin as they haul it off on cold tires into the first braking zone.
That Logan Simmons there, just being very patient. Everybody being patient in the early running of this. Into the first corner. Actually, Dan Liench already has wing damage. Let's go back and see what happened to him.
Joe Branch has a little bit of damage too, as he went side by side with Tim Miller through the fountain.
Dan Liench running to the back of Adam Plunkett.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it, yeah. Anyway, back in the front, Zac Campbell is your leader as we are on lap 1 of 43. Adam Blocker under attack from Joshua Chin already. Chin looking to get his get another win here at Long Beach. Henry Bennett having one of the better starts he's had recently. Last week at Barber got a decent qualifying spot, but fell back at the start and really had a tough race last week and lost the championship lead in the process. Eric O'Connor up to 5th place after, well, he stayed ahead of Andrew Kinsella, and the both of them are closing in on Henry Bennett. So Bennett again as Eric O'Connor goes around.
That could have ended a whole lot more poorly than it did. Luckily, nobody's killed him yet.
Yeah, there goes Jonathan Goke around him. Tim Miller, the next one to go around. And the Chicago's number 96. Even Dan the Ench with the wing damage has managed to catch up to him.
I'm not seeing a lot of damage on Inch's car, though. I mean, it's got a little crinkle, but that actually might help the downforce on the car.
Maybe. So, Zac Campbell already checked out his, well, cone killer. Wow. As he's already out to a 1 second lead over Adam Blocker, who's got Joshua Chin all over his gearbox right now. Henry Bennett has actually managed to extend the gap after Eric O'Connor's spin. Andreas Eek into P6 now. There is Riley Thompson in P7. Got one of his better results last time out of Barber, finishing inside the top 10. Andrew Wood is back here tonight. He is under huge pressure from Bradley Walters. Let's focus in on this as Walters dives to the inside and takes away that nice position. And Walters does the same thing as Eric O'Connor and is facing the wrong way. Yeah, it's facing the wrong way.
And that's not where you want to be pointed the wrong way, because that's... Gotta hope nobody's coming.
More trouble is there. We got Logan Simmons, and I'm sure I saw a Sadie Simsport car in trouble there as well. Take a look there and go back and see what happened to Simmons. Simmons got it all wrong, going for the sweeping right-handed. Oh no! That was not McBride he hit. And McBride's race is over, I believe. Logan Simmons' race is over as well. He's back up and running, got some wing damage, but no, McBride, the bad luck just continues for the Irishman as he is now in pit road with some serious damage. His night may be over at this point now.
Yeah, definitely not a happy camper. He's already... I think he's gotten out of the car. He's still in the session, but... Oh!
As Riley Thompson's race comes to an end as well, he just slammed into the tyre wall. Let's take a look at that. Just got it all wrong, going into the left-hander, and serious suspension damage. Riley Thompson also out of the car now.
He had a lot of wing damage coming into that incident, so not a real big surprise there. And Kyle McBride just completely heartbroken right now, hoping that they can get some repairs done on that car and he can get back out there, but not looking too promising at this point.
Yeah, Tim Miller is just making his way out of pit road. He's been pit farming the living daylights out of that car, so he's had a bit of damage as well. Logan Simmons just got a bit of repairs done on his car. Chad Simpson pit started, and already he's catching up to people. He's catching up to Bradley Walters. Remember, he had that spin coming out of turn one, already behind his teammate. That's Simon Bryant in front of him, who also pit started. Walters on fresher tyres than his teammate. And
probably not a bad idea, especially considering how the starts tend to go here at Long Beach.
We've got all three Sadie Simsport drivers in 13th, 14th and 15th here tonight. Adam Plunkett there in 13th. He's got his two teammates about 5 seconds behind him. And we've already had two people not take the green here tonight. That's Ray Kingsbury and Dakota DiCenzo. So unfortunate for them, but let's focus in on Eric O'Connor on his recovery. He's already made his way back up to the top 10 after seeing those guys drop out. Riley Thompson, Logan Simmons. Logan Simmons has put it on the hauler now, by the way, as his car finally gave up after that damage. Tim Miller has been fixing damage. He's in P17. Noah McBride is out of this event. He is already out of the car, but he's going to be sticking around and watching this thing, as it looks like Adam Blocker and Joshua Chin starting to reel in Zac Campbell now.
And part of that has to do with race control just issuing a warning. As you're coming out of pit road, they've got the blue line about 100 yards after the wall, and race control issuing a warning to Danley Inch, Zac Campbell, and Adam Blocker to all watch the blue line, because iRacing has a tendency that if you cross the blue line even as somebody that's on the track already, you can still get that black flag for a stop and go, and race control issuing a warning to those guys for that.
Yeah, so some things to be careful of going into tonight's race. They did give out the warning pre-race in the pre-race meeting. You see that blue line there?
And it all has to do with track limits. Is the fact that, you know, you can arc the first part of the fountain turn so much better if you can get over to that wall, but upset the car if you have to wait till the end of the blue line to cut over and then try to cut back. The suspension doesn't have enough time to take a good set, and you're more likely to spin it there. So something to be mindful of, that if we see somebody going down pit road for no air quote apparent reason, probably they got dinged on the blue line.
Yeah, and just want to point out, Zac Campbell, Adam Blocker, Henry Bennett, and Andrew Kinsella, all driving for Powerslide Motorsports, occupying 4 spots in the top 5. Yeah, that's some pretty serious team points they're going to get there if things stay the same.
You take a look at the interval too between Kinsella and Andreas Eek in 6th. 13 seconds, and we're only working lap 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and Andrew Wood actually up to P6 now after putting a pass on Andreas Eek. And let's we're going to ride on board for a lap with Mr. Zac Campbell and see how he handles things around here. So we're going to stay quiet for now, and we're going to take a lap with Mr. Zac Campbell as he negotiates around the apocalyptic world track known as Long Beach. So that is pretty much a lap with Zac Campbell there. I've been noticing a few problems for a few drivers, none more so than Mr. Simon Bryant getting it all wrong at some point around there as he's falling behind Chad Simpson now. So problems there for the 22, not enjoying this race here tonight. And Zac Campbell though, we just saw a lap with him running for the early part of the lap. Most of it is in first gear. Is that the normal trend around here?
Yeah, because you're switchback, you know, you're back and forth so often. First, second, you know, you're in a lower gear for most of this track. You know, coming down the front straightaway, you're definitely gonna use all 6. And then coming into the heavy braking zone on the back chute, which if you want to go on board with Henry Bennett, I can tell you where we're talking when I say back chute. He's coming down the front front chute now into the fountain turn. There's the fountain there. You're in first, mate. You might grab second, but then you're right back down into first. You can probably grab second right about here, and then hard on the brakes.
About down to first there.
The wall. You're going to be back down into first, going through the corners, and then this would be the back chute, second longest straightaway on the track. You're probably going to get up to just bouncing the chip in 4th gear as you start to get into the switchbacks that lead into the hairpin, which you see there's the switchbacks there, and into the hairpin again.
Wow, full lock through there. That is.
Oh, you have to. You have to set the steering ratio as low as it'll go, so you have the quickest box in the car, and then you still have to worry about. And Adam Blocker just got a black flag.
Oh no, so Blocker in trouble here. This is not what he wanted in this race. He needed...
Blue line violation.
Oh, let's go back and see if he did cross that blue line. And... he didn't touch it. I don't know why he's got a black flag.
On lap 9.
Ah, that would do it.
Drive through Adam Blocker crossing blue line on lap 9. And that is from
race control.
Race control. Chris Demerit in the booth tonight. Thank you, Chris, for doing that for us.
Absolutely. Good to see him controlling proceedings here tonight. But yeah, Blocker going to have to bring a pit side to serve that penalty. He's got to serve it within 3 laps. I wonder if he's going to stretch it out to his pit stop and then take it during his pit stop.
I don't think he's going to have enough time to do so because he was given the flag on lap 11. He's got to serve it. Okay, so it's just going to be a pass through this time. Next time it'll be a 30-second hold.
Okay, so he's had his first warning. First warning is a pass through. His second time is a 30-second hold. Pass through isn't so bad. He can catch up from that one, but it's a bit further back in the field. Simon Bright now has got ahead of Danny Edge. Chad Simpson is out of the car. What's happened to him? Let's find out. As he gets it all wrong going into turn 1. Rear suspension damage. That's going to be the end of his night. So the dropping like flies here tonight, Tony. And it's just the nature of the beast here tonight at Long Beach. People are just going to fall by the wayside very slowly and methodically here tonight.
You have to respect this track. And Adam Plunkett getting it all wrong going into 1.
Yeah, so Plunkett having trouble as well. Take a look.
Not quite as bad as we saw, but still stuffed it. He still stuffed it.
Yeah, he backed it into the tyre barrier. Looks like wing damage. Didn't look like suspension damage. Not sure why he's stepped out of the car, but
I don't think he could drive it at that point. And there's the 22 coming in. Up on the jacks.
Yep, Simon Bryant is down and away. He's just been passed by Jonathan Goke and Danny Ench for a lap, actually. No. Ench passed him for position. Goke actually put a lap on him, so Goke actually having a decent enough run here tonight. Sitting in the top 10 as Bradley Walters bringing a pit side now. No damage on his car, so this is a scheduled pit stop for the man in the 56, so good for him. As Adam Blocker's going to come in for his pass through now.
I'm thinking he might be actually hitting his pit stall.
Ah, so he's going to...
If he can. No, he took the pass through.
Yep. Platinum Blocker taking his pass through there for the blue line violation. Hits the green cones and he's back up to speed again. He rejoins in P5 though, just ahead of, you see Andrew Wood and Liam Quinn behind them there. As Liam Quinn hits the blue line, as does Eric O'Connor. Not sure if there's going to be a violation there or not. Going to be a penalty there.
You can touch the line.
Oh, you can't cross it.
But when you put the left side tires over the line that they're going to take umbrage to it. I went back and looked, and yeah, Adam was well across, like more than 50% of the car was on the wrong side of the blue line.
Yeah, and all this to and fro between the guys behind him is helping Zac Campbell. Looking for his third race win of the season here, and probably his most important one, as he's got Joshua Chin behind him. Joshua Chin and Zac Campbell for the past, well, this is to be the third race in a row now that these have been going hammer and tongs at each other. If Joshua Chin didn't have the horrible start to the season that he had, he would have been right up there in the championship fight in his championship defense. Unfortunately, bad results in the early part of the season really prevented him from doing that. But still taking it to the fight to everybody else, and the man that has been taking the fight to the most is the points leader, Zac Campbell, saying, if you want my championship, you're going to have to fight me for it.
Yeah.
Because they had one epic battle at Kota. They had a brilliant battle last time out of Barber, and now they're having a nice little battle tonight.
And think about what happened the last time I was able to join you in the booth for an Indy Elite Series race, and that was Milwaukee. And what happened at Milwaukee? Josh Chin got his first win of the season.
Yeah, he won last time out of Barber, so he's been able to get another race win since then. So good for him.
And Chin's starting to reel Campbell in.
Yeah, he's right on his tail now as they come out of the right-hander. So Chin's starting to get the bit between his teeth. Struggled in the hot lap sessions, but has really started to put his foot down now as we started to progress into this race. We're on lap 17 of 43 here at Long Beach. As they are approaching somebody. That was a red car they were coming up on, I believe. That might have been Andreas Eek. No. Oh, it was Joe Branch they're coming up on.
And the one thing I do want to point out is how impressive it is that Zac Campbell is able to run as hard as he is right now. He attempted 35 laps in practice. Of those 35 laps, 7 of them did not involve him hitting something.
Oh. Well, if you want to run the perfect race, you've got to put the practice laps in. And
like I said, he attempted 37 laps. He had 7 of them that were clean.
Yeah, we've only got 14 left running now. Adam Plunkett, Chad Simpson, Tim Miller, Riley Thompson, Logan Simmons, and Noam McBride all out of this race. Of the 20 that started, Ray Kingsbury and Dakota DiCenzo not taking the green, as Andrew Wood going to bring a pit side now for his pit stop. Let's see what this pit stop is all about. Clean car, as the Wood panelled car brings it into the stall now. I like the cliche on that car. They've made him a wood panel car.
So I just found out why Ray Kingsbury didn't take the green.
Yeah.
Remember when we were talking about him backing up coming out of the hairpin?
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of got that blue and white flag, or sorry, the black and white flag. The one that says, "You're not allowed to be here anymore."
Oh. You got the Dairy Queen flag.
Yeah, Ray Kingsbury getting the Dairy Queen award tonight.
Oh.
Just found that out. It's actually in the YouTube chat. I thought I heard him say something as they were gooding up that, can I get a black flag cleared? Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get it cleared during the session that it was in. If you get a DQ in practice, you have to get it cleared before qualifying starts. If you keep in qualifying, you have to get it cleared before the race starts.
Ah.
Or else it won't let it get cleared.
Meanwhile, back at the front, the battle between Zac Campbell and Joshua Chin starting to fizzle out slightly, it seems. As it looks like Joshua Chin might have burned all the goodie off those tyres. He's not able to close the gap between himself and the Deuce right now. They're a clean 5.5 seconds ahead of Henry Bennett, though, who's running a very tidy third place, I will say. And this is going to really help him in the championship run, albeit the fact that he's going to lose a lot of championship points here tonight if he stays in the position he is. Andrew Kinsella, race winner already this season. He is another one that's had a pretty difficult start to the season. Has a bit of a slide there coming out of the right hand. I had to collect it up a bit again. Won a few races back. I believe he won at Iowa. Don't count me on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, he's running in the top 5 as Adam Blocker still running in the top 5. He didn't get a tyre change, and I believe he's got a bit of wing damage there, unless it's iRacing playing me up again.
No, he's got a bit of wing damage. He brushed the wall while trying to deal with some of the lappers that he was, or some of the guys that were well behind him before he had to serve the pass through. And Josh Chin has a passenger of the orange and pointy variety.
I don't see it on my screen.
Just got shuffled out coming through the fountain turn. He had a cone.
Chin's just made a liar out of me. He's managed to close that gap again between himself and Zac Campbell. And may the battle commence again between these two as Chin goes a bit wide and loses the momentum again. Let's let Campbell scamper away again. Andrew Kinsella now up to 3rd place now. Henry Bennett making a mistake there. Go back and see what happened. And it wasn't a mistake. This was a legitimate pass. You see Kinsella using the push to pass there. Down towards turn 1 and gets the pass done on his teammate into turn 1. A fantastic move there by Andrew Kinsella, and that moves him up to 3rd place.
A little bit of wing damage on the 14 as well.
Yeah, as Jonathan Goat just coming out of pit road now.
Trying to make out 28. Yeah, Joe Branch, heavy front wing damage on that car.
Yeah. The man whose company that is sponsoring tonight's race, Triptacular Memories. Yeah, big damage on the front wing of that number 28. And yeah, tonight's race is sponsored by Triptacular Memories. And I'm just going to go and find the read-through again, if I can.
As Adam Blocker and Eric O'Connor both taking it pit side to get 4 Mr. Feelgoods and some fresh go-go juice. So the first ones of the front runners to blink there.
Yeah, so...
And Zac Campbell's in, as is Josh Chin.
Yeah, and while they're in pit road, we're going to just say tonight's race is sponsored by Triptacular Memories. This is the Triptacular Memories Grand Prix of Long Beach. Triptacular Memories is an authorized Disney vacation planner focused on planning a trip of a lifetime for you and your family. Triptacular can also book your next race weekend. Book your Triptacular Memories by contacting them through Facebook right now. So, as Tony already mentioned, we have pit stops underway here. And Zac Campbell is back out of pit road now, and he's out ahead of Joshua Chin, crucially. Andrew Kinsella in pit road as well. Henry Bennett in pit road. The only people that have not been in pit road, and he's bringing the pit side now, Liam Quinn and Andreas Eek has not been in pit road yet either.
Dan Lee Inch hasn't come pit side yet either. But, yeah, these guys, it's got to be painfully slow. I mean, when you're talking, you're cranking down the straightaways here at north of 150 miles an hour, and then you have to hit that button to make sure you don't go over 40 miles an hour as you go down pit road. It's like on the highway when you get into a small town and the speed limit goes from 70 miles an hour down to 25 or 30 miles an hour. At that point, it feels like you could get out and walk faster than you're going. Imagine if you're going from double that highway speed down to that same speed that you're going to hit when you get into your hometown. You want to get out of the car and start pushing. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it's not the easiest situation to be in when you're racing as fast as you can. It's like other tracks that I've been to, like Bristol. I mean, not Bristol, Dover. I mean, you're racing around there, north of 180 miles per hour, and then you go into pit road, and then you have to suffer 35 miles per hour in pit road. That is...
Yeah, that's quite painful.
Yeah. It's very painful.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. In the IndyCar, you have a little button that says pit road speed limiter. Not so much in the stock cars.
No, you have to control that speed, and it's very difficult to do at that lower speed. And with the new iRacing settings that have come in the recent build, as Zac Campbell hits the wall coming out of the hairpin. We'll get to that in a second. But with the new build that's come out, you can stall your engine if you go too slow. So yeah, yeah. They might need to... Oh, it's getting it all wrong coming out of turn 1. Almost gets collected by the leaders. No damage for Goat, but definitely a scary moment for the man in the 24.
Some poos come out!
Oh. So, Goat still in the top 10, mind you. After that spin, behind Bradley Walters, who's probably having one of the better races he's had all season tonight.
Yeah, but look who's right behind him.
Yeah, yeah.
The type of pace that Zac Campbell and Josh Shedd are setting right now is insane. They've already lapped 10th place, and that's 9th place, directly in front of them.
Yeah, remember what I said about Powerslide Motorsports occupying 4 of the top 5 spots? They are still occupying 4 of the top 5 spots. Andrew Kinsella there in 3rd. Bennett now up down to 4th. Adam Blocker still in P5 after finally making his first pit stop, mind you. Eric O'Connor, he's an independent driver and he's got wing damage. Oh, no, he hasn't. Thanks, iRacing. Lynn Quinn for Team Talent, he's in 7th place. Bradley Walters in 8th and just been lapped by the leaders. Jonathan Yoke is driving for LLM Motorsports, he's there in P9. And Andres Eek finally got his first race win earlier this season. Was in championship contention up until last week and then dropped out. I think he's realised that now. He's at the tail end of the top 10. He's actually in 10th and holding on to that last spot in the top 10. Joe Branch is in 11th. Andrew Wood is in 12th. 13th is Simon Bryant. 14th, after finally making his pit stop, is Danley Ench. And that is the runners completed there. Only 14 runners left of the 20 that started. And Zac Campbell and Joshua Chin still going at it between themselves here at this midway stage for the race here, Tony.
Yeah, they're coming up very quickly on Liam Quinn, who's currently running in 7th place. Let that sink in for a moment, folks.
Yeah.
1.9 mile, 11 turn, Long Beach street course. They've lapped to 7th, and we're just at the halfway marker. That's impressive.
I mean, that's more than impressive. That's dominating.
Yeah, it's the Zach and Josh show, and everybody else is kind of an also-ran tonight. And I don't mean to say that the way that it sounds, because who knows what would have happened had Adam Blocker not gotten that pass-through penalty.
He'd have been challenging for the win as well.
Oh, he was right there with him. But ever since then, it's been a two-horse race, and that's it.
Yeah. That's about the head and tail of it. Zac Campbell a few laps ago is definitely feeling the pressure though right now, as he brushed the wall coming out of the hairpin a few laps ago. No serious damage on the car, probably just a little scrape on the wing, but definitely a man on the edge right now. But he's got to think of the bigger picture right here. He's got the championship in hand right now. His closest challenger in the championship, Henry Bennett, all the way down in P4. So with things as they are, Zac Campbell, he's going to be champion-elect going into Indianapolis in a month's time.
True. Very true. But, you know, it's been nothing short of impressive. And as far as the damage on Zac Campbell's car, the only thing he did was take the lettering off the left front tire. He didn't really hit the wall. He just kind of brushed it. It was like a curbing, like when you're trying to park your car on the street.
Like the IndyCar version of a Darlington stripe.
Pretty much, yeah. As Andreas Eek getting a warning for the blue line violation.
Yep, so needs to be careful there. Currently sitting in P9 right now. Joe Branch over to P10. This is after Jonathan Goke took it pit side. So that's 2 pit stops now for the man in the 24. Almost getting it wrong in the hairpin. He's currently down in P13 as Dan Lee Ench is 2 laps down in P14, not having the race he wanted here tonight. Joe Branch currently occupying the last spot in the top 10. He's got that front wing fixed on the Triptacular Memories number 28.
You got to think some of these guys aren't going to be happy with their current sets, and because of that, they're having to drive the car harder than they really want to, and they're just using up all the goodie off those tires.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But the only two that are able to actually control their tires in this race are Joshua Chin and Zac Campbell, as they've just been absolutely mesmerizing out there tonight. It's just been unbelievable.
And that's one of the reasons why there's a 13-second gap from these two guys back to Andrew Kinsella in 3rd.
Yeah, and let's touch on Andrew Kinsella right there. He is currently in that 3rd spot ahead of his teammate Henry Bennett. Bennett, I believe, might have some wing damage here. I can't tell because iRace has been playing this up a lot tonight.
No, that is actual wing damage.
Yeah, big problems there for Kinsella. Almost getting it wrong coming out of the corner there. Let's take a look and see what happened to him. It brushed the wall, I believe, going through the corner. Might have done.
No, just did his best imitation of Ken Block.
Oh, yeah. Back end just wanted to go around.
And kudos to him for being able to save that on such tight confines of this track.
Yeah, but that's let Henry Bennett back in. He's closed that gap now down to less than a second. Speaking of gas being less than a second, Joshua Chin right on the gearbox of Zac Campbell again. I'm sorry we're showing these guys a lot here tonight, but this is where your closest battle has been out on track. Henry Bennett.
Only battle out on track.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Oh! Henry Bennett just hit the wall hard there. And oh, dear me.
Eesh.
Yeah, Bennett's race is falling apart now. Wing damage and possibly suspension damage now.
The good news is when he hit the wall, he hit it flush.
Yeah.
So he might not have gotten it into the suspension pieces. He could have gotten it right into the floor of the car. Because if you get a shot of the left side of that car, You can see that the pod is now pushed in. It doesn't look like, I'm watching him as he's going through the right-handers. If there was suspension damage, that thing would be rolling right over on that left rear. And it doesn't look like he's got any real significant suspension damage. But the aero is going to be just trash on that car from here on out.
Yeah, and it's definitely showing that right now. He's already almost 2.5 seconds behind Andrew Kinsella. Losing time very quickly there. And Adam Blocker, he's going to be a happy guy to see his own teammate in trouble, despite them being teammates, of course.
Well, he's not going to know it for another 19 seconds.
Yeah, only problem for Adam Blocker is that... Now, I'm not sure. I need to ask league management if Indy's going to be a double points race or not. Because if it is, then Zac Campbell's in a good position going into Indy. And we've got more drivers in the championship. And actually, no, Andrew Seek would probably still be out of the championship running. But if it's double points, then it gives Adam Blocker a reprieve, but only just. But if it's not, then Adam Blocker's championship aspirations might come to an end here tonight at Long Beach if things stay as they are. Henry Bennett doing everything he can to try and close that gap to Andrew Kinsella. Only problem is that front wing damage and now possible other bits of aero damage is hurting him, and he's lost another 0.2 of a second just on that little stretch alone.
Absolutely. You really got to feel for Henry right now as he just flirting with disaster on those tire barriers. You know, as hard as he's having to push the car right now, there's a good possibility that he could step on his own junk before we're done.
Yeah, and hopefully that's not the case. The man that's representing UK and Ireland.
We're only 10 to go.
Yeah, 10 laps to go here at Long Beach, and the battle... We should, at this point, see the battle starting to really heat up between Zac Campbell and Joshua Chin. These guys have been going at it since COTA 2 rounds ago. And they are still fighting out here tonight. And I'm pretty sure they're going to take the fight to each other at Indy come the month of May. And it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top here. Zac Campbell has had control of the field pretty much the whole race. Joshua Chin not able to get even close. He's getting close, but not in a passing position here, Tony. Is he going to try and do this and try and get there before this race is said and done?
I don't know if he can. And that's not a slight against Josh. It's actually, you know, Zac is just bound and determined right now to not let anything stand in his way of trying to clinch this championship. And, you know, you can tell when these guys are on it, and when they're trying to let their equipment kind of cool off a little bit and make that final push. You know, the only thing Josh can hope for is that he's got push to pass left, and he's able to get on it while Zac has to cool his gear down. That's the only shot he's got. Is right now the lead is just opened up to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, I think Joshua Chin might have burned the goodie off those tyres trying to... Unless he's conserving those tyres for the last few laps. We are coming to 8 laps to go, so he needs to... start making a move if he wants to get anywhere near Zac Campbell for that race win. We're going to go a bit further back in the field. We've got a nice battle going on here. Joe Branch, Andrew Wood, Bradley Walters. Actually, the battle is more between Bradley Walters and Andrew Wood there for the last spot in the top 10. These guys are a lap down, but it's not going to stop them battling here for the honours here as the race comes to a close here, Tony.
Absolutely. As Branch had a ton of wing damage earlier, got that fixed, and he's kind of back up to speed and back up to where he needs to be, you know, performance-wise. But, you know, Woods and Walters are just throwing hand grenades at each other right now. They're racing clean, but they're racing hard, which is something we really like to see. And you almost got to think that the Branch Branch has got to be seeing this in his mirrors, going, I can't let my foot off their throat right now because I'll be out of the top 10 if I do.
Yeah, push to pass has been deployed there. Andrew Wood trying to make his way past Branch, but not able to make it happen.
And using push to pass, you've got to make sure you've got the thing pointed straight, because right now, track temperature 98 degrees. They've got a lot of rubber built up. If you have to go offline for any reason, you're going around as soon as you touch that push to pass.
Yeah. So Branch able to hold on to P9 for now. Andrew Wood last spot in the top 10, and Bradley Walters is there, but I think he's just quite content to see these guys battle out between themselves and just pick up the pieces if it goes bad. Andrew Wood trying to deploy push to pass just then on that last long straight, not able to make it happen. Is he going to try it again down the start finish straight? Has he got any push to passes left? We don't have a graphic for that, so we can't really tell. As yes, he does. Look at that launch he got out of the hairpin there. Going to try and get alongside Joe Branch. Branch has got a lot more straight line speed. I think he's using push to pass as well to try and stay ahead of the 32, and he actually stays ahead again going through the fountain.
And the other problem was where he pushed Wood, there was a little gamesmanship there. Joe Branch kind of threw a block. And it wasn't that he was blocking where, you're allowed one defensive move. Joe used it, and he used it effectively.
Absolutely. So Joe Branch able to hold on to P9 for now, and this is your closest battle on the track right now. The battle between Zac Campbell and Joshua Chin has very much fallen away. It's 1.4 seconds the gap between the two and the 93. So we're going to focus on this battle for now as Joe Branch, horrible exit out of the corner there as Bradley Walters spins behind them. And that is his challenge for the top 10 over, as he's now got front wing damage as well.
And that's what we were talking about just a lap ago. He got just a tick offline and put 2 tires into the marbles, went to go put the power down, and it was like driving on ice.
Yeah. And just a slight tap on the wall was enough to give him that wing damage that he did not need at the late stage of this race. Joe Branch, though, still holding on ahead of Andrew Wood. Now Wood does not have Walters in his rear view mirrors. This might actually give him a lot more confidence to try and get that position away from Branch. But they're both safely in the top 10 now after Walters hit the wall. Well, tapped the wall. I wouldn't say hit it.
Yeah, but with 5 to go, that's pretty much, game over.
Yeah, and here it is. Andrew Wood going to do the dive bomb going into the corner and almost hit the wall, but he made it work. Great move there by Andrew Wood. Wood up to P9 now. What a move by the 32.
Lick the stamp and send it. Wow.
Yeah.
That was one of those, you put it in there and just hope it sticks, and luckily it did. Because that could have ended about 8 different kinds of poorly had either one of them bobbled in the braking zone.
Yep, so there it is. Andrew Wood up to P9. Great move there by the man in the 32 driving for Team Talent. Let's go back to the leaders, though. Or leader, as Zac Campbell still holding a 1.3 second lead over Joshua Chin there, who's just put another lap on Bradley Walters, I might add. Walters, the end of this race, not going his way at all. But Zac Campbell here looking odds on for race win number 3 here. And this, if it's not a double points race going into Indianapolis, I'm pretty sure he's going to have one hand on the championship trophy after this one, as his closest championship rivals back down in P4 and 5. Zac Campbell looking in a very promising position going into the 500 in 1 month's time here, Tony.
Absolutely, and he got real lucky that Adam Blocker decided to kind of push the envelope a little bit going into turn 1, and I wonder how different things would have been had Blocker not gotten that blue line violation. Blocker
was right up there with Zac Campbell when it came to lap times.
He was running second when it happened, less than a second off of Campbell's rear wing.
Yeah, so and both of them using the same setup pretty much as well. They're both teammates, so it would have been one hell of a battle between those two should that had that penalty not happened. The gap between Adam Blocker and Henry Bennett has actually come down to less than 12 seconds now, so that's how much Henry Bennett's car is hurting right now with that wing damage. Henry Bennett as well. He's been up there, but he's not been up there, if that makes any sense.
It does, and it's understandable because Long Beach is one of those tracks that you can't let the walls intimidate you, but you have to respect them. You know, it's like stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson in his heyday. You know, you've got to go in with a little bit of confidence that I can do this, but don't get cocky. And I think Henry isn't comfortable at Long Beach.
No. But he has one more chance to try and get it done next time out at the Indy 500 during the month of May. That is going to be one hell of a race to tune in for. So make sure you do tune in for that one. That was going to be one of 2 Indy 500 events we'll be showing in May. So lots of racing action coming for you next month. But this one going to be for a title here, Tony. And that man we're watching right now in the juices, the popsicle sticks are out. We're about to come to the white flag here. Zac Campbell, I've already mentioned it several times here tonight, going to have one hand on the trophy after this race is said and done.
Absolutely. I mean, it just put the car where he needed to put it all night long as soon as that green flag came out, and just didn't look back. I mean, hats off to Zac for, you know, doing what he needed to do to, you know, really... Oh!
Good heads-up driving there by Zac Campbell to get around Danley Ench.
Andreas Eek is heavily damaged.
Oh, it's Eek that was damaged.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a look and see what happened there. Oh, yeah. You see him there coming down the start-finish straight. I thought it was Danley Ench. Sorry for thinking it was you, Dan. As he gets it all wrong coming out of turn 1. Big damage there for the man that's currently sitting 4th in the point standings. Probably won't be that way now as he's just dropped. He was in the top 10 at that point when it happened. Bradley Walters up to the top 10 now, incidentally, as Andrew Wood is in P8. But this is the man of the hour right now, though. Zac Campbell is letting the gap come down to between him and Joshua Chin a little bit, but that I think he knows that he's far enough ahead to try to let that happen as he's coming through the final sections of the course now, through that right-hander down this little stretch here. I'll say it's a little stretch. It's the second longest straight on the course as he goes into the S sections now towards the hairpin for one final time. Out of the hairpin right now, and one hand on the championship title. The man that's going to relinquish it to him is right behind him, but Zac Campbell claims race win number 3 here at Long Beach, and the title is within sight for the Juice.
That's how you get the W, boys!
Joshua Chin going to come home in second. Andrew Kinsella coming through the hairpin now. He is going to get a very, very creditable 3rd place on a track that he had terrible luck here last year. So good to see him actually cross the line and get a top 3 here. Henry Bennett, I think he knows that his championship aspirations are on a knife edge as they go into the final part of the courses. We are going to find Zac Campbell. Don't know where he's gone. There he is. As that is the man of the hour right now. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will have the interviews for you live from the from Victory Lane. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And to join us back here at Long Beach. Tony had to step away, but thanks for having him in the booth. Thanks to him for coming into the booth. We're going to start with third place, as we are going to speak to one Mr. Andrew Kinsella. Andrew, third place on the night here tonight. Close battle with your teammate near the end there, if it wasn't for a mistake by Henry, but a good battle with Henry there near the end.
Yeah, definitely. I was very pleased with that. Henry is a very fast driver, so I was just happy that throughout the first stint I was able to stay with him. And then he got into some lap traffic, made a mistake, and I was able to get by him just before the first pit stop. And then fortunately was able to stay in front of him. I made a couple of mistakes. He made a couple of mistakes and got some damage. Otherwise, it would have been a really good battle right to the end. But yeah, very pleased with that race.
Yeah, on a track that you had so much bad luck at last year. Got to put it. I'm guessing tonight's third place put that demon to bed here tonight.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a solid race. Again, just to be in the same realm with Henry, and it was a great race from my point of view, and very happy with it. And definitely no demons anymore with.
Absolutely. Well, with one more race to go, we go into the big one next month. Looking back on your season, if you've got to reflect on your season up to this point, Andrew, what do you reckon you could have done better, and what do you think you can improve next season?
I just made a few mistakes. Spun at Pocono for double points. Spun again at Coda, which probably took me out of the race entirely. But yeah, just a few less mistakes, and I should be there. For the most part, I had solid results, one win, so we were definitely very close.
Absolutely. And speaking of the big one, we go to the Indy 500 in the month of May next month. Former winner of the race yourself, just going into that one. Do you reckon you're going to get another one there next month?
I hope so. I've always done fairly well at Indy, as long as I don't crash. I'm normally fairly close to the front. Obviously, had that race with Tim Holgate a couple years ago, and then in the official 500 last year with Chin, 36 thousandths of a second. So definitely something that I'm looking forward to, and hopefully we can get a good result. But it's a long race, and the big thing is to finish it first.
Absolutely, to finish first. First you must finish, as that saying goes. But Andrew, good result tonight, third place. Great battle with your teammate, and yeah, we'll see you next month when we go to the annual Indy 500 with this league.
All right, thanks, Sam.
So that was Andrew Kinsella. We are now going to go to our second place finisher. That would be Mr. Joshua Chin. Joshua Chin, second place here on the night. One hell of a battle once again with Zac Campbell. 3 races in a row. You guys have been going at it with each other. That must have been exciting up until the end there.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was expecting to be a little bit more off the pace than I was, and I think fuel saving helped bring it back to me a little bit. But Long Beach is really fun, and I mean, I can't argue second place is good for points. I think it moves me a little bit closer to the top 5, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, and I asked this to Andrew Kinsella, reflecting back on his season, difficult start to your title defense. Obviously not going to retain the title this season, but I'm not going to ask you to reflect because I know how you feel about how the start of the season went, but looking ahead to next season, you've got to be hoping to get that title back again, right?
Yeah, I think, the road courses have been a strong point all season. Detroit was a little bit of a lost opportunity earlier in the season, but mainly just capitalizing and not pushing too hard. I think it was the problem I had early in the season. I was just trying to push for more than the car would give. And I gave away a win at Pocono doing that and just threw away a lot of points early part of the season, just pushing more than I needed to.
Absolutely. And going into the big one next month, what are your thoughts going into that one? You're a former winner at the Indianapolis track. Can you do it again here this time around?
I hope so. I like Indy a lot, and it seems like my luck's finally started to turn around there. I wish we were running the road course and GP before as well, but I'll take double points at Indy and hopefully try and chase down Andrew and Andreas and get 5th in points, maybe up to 4th. I don't think Adam's reachable. He's, I think, 80 points up the road, but if I get up to 4th place, it'd be pretty good on the season.
Thanks for clearing that up for me because I wasn't sure if it was double points or not. So, yeah, double points on offer next week. So, yeah, definitely a good chance to get yourself in the top 5. Josh, let's talk over your race though. Again, you had a poor hot lap session, a pretty poor qualifying session by your standards, but able to keep Zac Campbell honest again for the 3rd race in a row. I mean, if it was different circumstances, I think you and Zac Campbell might have been right up there for the championship this season.
Yeah, for sure, especially with the luck Zac had at the beginning of the season. I think he wrecked 3 out of 4 races early on, but we kind of have set the pace on road courses all season. Detroit, we had Andy in there as a little bit of a wild card, but ever since that, the last 3 road courses, it's been us battling up front, and I feel like I haven't quite come out on top the way I should have. I think I gave one away at Coda, and I might have given one away here, so have to go back next season and beat him on that.
Absolutely. Well, finally, before we let you go, Josh, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, I got to give everyone, Team Talent, Team Chimera, a big shout out for all the support and effort. We did a lot of changes in practice, and we weren't happy with the setup going in. And talking to Liam, we did quite a few changes and got the car quite a bit better for everyone. And I think it showed in the results. And I got to give big thanks to Craig Setup Shop for the support. And go download some IndyCar setups.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, congratulations on the 2nd place one more time. And we'll see you next month when we go to the 500.
See you guys there.
As that was Joshua Chin. And now, coming into the booth is the man himself, third race win on the season. It's that man there in the number 2, as bringing him there as Zac Campbell, third race win on the season, bringing it to victory lane once again. Another dominant performance in the deuce, and pretty much one hand on the title at this point, especially with double points on offer next month at Indy. Just give us your thoughts on that race.
That was fun. We were fuel saving the whole time. That was my first ever time fuel saving, so it was certainly different. I know Chin's incredible at fuel saving, but the one thing he wasn't incredible at were the 3 corners you need here to be able to pass someone. So I really didn't have to work hard on perfecting my craft, but Chin was still a huge challenge to beat. He was there the entire time. I know Blocker would have been too without his penalty.
And yeah, it's just want to talk about Adam Blocker there. He got that penalty for the blue line violation there. With him falling back, and with Henry Bennett, both your teammates falling back and having poor races by their standards, that has really put the emphasis on you going into Indy with the title on the line and the gap as it is. All you need is to finish ahead of them, and the title's in your hands. Has that really sunk in yet going into this race?
Not really. I mean, all I really gotta do is just take Adam and Henry out, turn 1 inning. We're set. So I think that's the plan. That's the only plan I got. That's the only plan you can really have going into an oval, which I historically have not been the best at. But I pulled out a win at Pocono, so we'll see what we can do at Indy as well.
Yeah, and I've been asking the other guys to reflect on their season. I think it's a pretty dumb question, asking how your season's gone and what you think you could have done better. I don't think there's much you could do better, considering you're leading the points going into Indy next month.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I hadn't crashed in the first few races. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I really don't know anything else. It was really just that crash at Motegi and then that crash at Detroit that really hurt me more than anything, and I wish I could have taken that back and ran Detroit like it did tonight and been very conservative rather than aggressive like I was there.
Yeah, a bit of advice: if you do take the title next month, don't put the number 1 on your car because it's been cursed the last 2 seasons. So, yeah. But anyway, Zac, congratulations on your 3rd win of the season. Again, going into the next race at Indy, just what are your thoughts in that one? You said it wasn't it's not your best track, but you have proven on the big ovals this season that you can get the job done. Can you get it done again at the 500?
We'll find out. I mean, hopefully I can. I think we're gonna have a decent shot, but we'll see. We'll find out. It's really gonna be something that we find out once we.
Absolutely. I mean, you have 1 month to prepare, so it's enough time to get the setups finalized and done, ready for that race as the month of May does approach. Zac, congratulations one more time for the win. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate?
Let's see. My Lord and Savior, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Power Slide, Joe for putting on the league. I can't really think of anybody right now. I'm still focused on saving fuel, so I guess my brain's lifting and coasting.
Okay, Zac. Yeah, it's a lot to take in with another race win and the title almost falling into your lap like it has. But anyway, Zac, congratulations on the win, and we will see you in 1 month's time when we go to the annual 500.
I guess I'll see you in 1 month's time.
Okay. As that was Mr. Zac Campbell in the booth with me. Their race winner, champion elect pretty much, as we go into the finale in just a month's time. So, reflection on the race there, pretty much dominating performance there by the man in the number 2. So, really got to give him props there, really holding off the man that's been really dominant on road courses. Won last time out of Barber. Looking to get another one here tonight. Unfortunately, didn't pay off for him here tonight. But let's go to the results before we get out of here, so we can just enjoy the final part of this broadcast. So bringing home the win here tonight was Zac Campbell. Second place was Joshua Chin. Andrew Kinsella just pipping his teammate Henry Bennett to third place. Bennett himself finishing in fourth, losing a lot more ground in the point standings going into Indy. But with double points on offer, anything can happen between now and the end of Indy. Adam Blocker running up there in the top three for the most part, and then got that penalty for crossing the blue line. Dropped him back to P5, and he kept that P5 till the end of the event. Eric O'Connor in 6th, Liam Quinn in 7th, Andrew Wood in 8th, 9th was Joe Branch, and rounding out the top 10 despite the spin he had near the end of the race was Bradley Walters. Jonathan Goke also had a spin. He is in 11th. 12th was Simon Bryant. Andreas Eek, a big wreck near the end, put an end to his race and definitely his championship aspirations. He's in 13th. Danley Ench is in 14th after a tough race for him. He was the last driver running. Adam Plunkett, Chad Simpson, Tim Miller, Riley Thompson, Logan Simmons, and Nar McBride round out your field, with Dakota DiCenzo and Ray Kingsbury not taking the green. Ray Kingsbury unfortunately getting a penalty here tonight. So with that being said, what a race we're seeing here tonight at Long Beach. The Triptacular Memories Grand Prix of Long Beach. A fantastic event again put on by league owner Joe Branch. And again, this race being sponsored by Triptacular Memories. Triptacular Memories is an authorized Disney vacation planner focused on planning a trip of a lifetime for you and your family. Triptacular can also book your next race weekend. Book your Triptacular Memories by contacting them through Facebook right now. And right now, that is going to be it for us here tonight. Tomorrow night we'll be back with some more IndyCar action as we head to Road Atlanta with the Top Fuel Racing Series, and more Indy action coming to you this coming Thursday as we have the Throwback Indy Series making their second appearance on the channel. Friday night we have another race coming to you, hosted by Adam and Derek. And then Saturday, we have racing live from Richmond with the NASCAR Online Series as they continue their series. You can join Adam and Derek in the booth for that one. And this coming Sunday, we have dirt racing action. You can join Tony for that one too. But all that's left for me to say right now is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you next month for Indy Elite when we go to the annual Indy 500 and a champion will be crowned. Who's it going to be? You'll have to find out for that one. But until then, we will see you tomorrow night live from Road Atlanta with Top Fuel Racing. Good night.